Thank you for joining me again in this learning journey. For first-timers to this channel, T2L Academy is an initiative that I started with the mission of teaching to learn. So I learn, and then I share with you and teach, so that I can learn better, and hopefully in the process, I can help you learn too. So today I'm going to be sharing my learnings on how to solve Problem 8 from the AMC 8 2019 question paper. And the main topic that this problem covers is percents. So let's get started. Gilda has a bag of marbles. She gives 20% of them to her friend Pedro. Then Gilda gives 10% of what's left to another friend, Ebony. Finally, Gilda gives 25% of what is now left in the bag to her brother Jimmy. What percent of her original bag of marbles does Gilda have left for herself? So I encourage you to go ahead, take a minute, pause this video, and come back and hit play whenever you're ready. So I'm assuming you've given it a go. Let's get started. So personally, I feel like visuals always help me when I'm understanding a concept. So I'm going to be drawing like a little model of her bag here. We're just going to make it rectangular for the sake of simplicity with percents. So let's go. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to walk through each of these steps in this problem. So first, she gives 20% of them to her friend Pedro. So 20% of this bag is now given away, meaning that the remaining would be 100% minus 20%, or 80%. So I'm going to approximately, this looks like about 80% of the bag. This looks like the 80% mark. So now this is what's left. Next, Gilda gives 10% of what's left. Now that's key here, the of what's left, because it's not 10% of the total bag, it's 10% of what's left after the 20% is taken away. So it's 10% of the 80%. Now the important thing to remember with percents is that of means multiplied by, so you're multiplying 10 over 100 times 80 over 100, but there are times when in the competition you won't need to do all that multiplication math, and you'll just be able to see here that 10% of 80% is going to be 8%. So 8% is given away to Ebony, meaning that what's left is now 80% minus 8%. Now I could have found what 90% was and skipped the multiplying and subtracting, but I found 10% as an easier percentage to work with than 90%, personally. So 80% minus 8% equals 72%, and that's where our mark on this diagram will be next. Maybe about here would be 72%, just approximately. Alright, and then finally, Gilda gives 25% of what is now left in the bag to her brother Jimmy. So 25% of the 72% that's left in the bag. So 25% times, or of, 25% of the 75%. But the way I kind of like to see the the number 25% as 1/4 in this case, because it'll be a little easier to work with. Oops, sorry, my mistake here. Not 75%, 72%. So a good way to see this, or an easy way to see this, is 2/5 to see it as 1/4. But again, there is no right or wrong way to solve this step. But I just found it easier to say 1/4 of 72%. So that's 72 divided by 4%. So that would be, looks like 18%. And then I have to subtract that 18% from the 72%. Looks like we've got 54%. So looks like our next mark here will be at the 54% mark. So guessing this is about 50, so maybe right here could be 54. Again, this is all approximate, just wanted to kind of show it that way. So this is the remainder that Gilda has left for herself, 54% of her original bag of marbles. So on our AMC 8 test, it looks like that is answer choice E. So that's it for this learning. Thank you for joining me. I'll really appreciate it if you leave your comments, feedback, and further suggestions for additional learnings below. I'll see you in the next video.